Shorties, and these were just a bit of a struggle for me. Nothing bad, and I'll share the details, so let's get right into this. If you're interested, you'll want to keep watching. I fill my dapping dish to soak my brush for a brief moment, then start by gently pushing any trapped air out of my brush. This time, I included doing the first clear layer on just a few nails so you can see it. Clear is used for a few reasons. One is to strengthen and or to build up. An example would be to do a foundation layer like you're seeing here. This is either done as common practice or to keep a strongly pigmented acrylic powder from staining the nail, or to have a layer to file down to when wearing through changes of sets. Another is to use a thin layer of color, then go on top with a clear to build the nail structure, which can be a money-saving strategy as colored acrylic powders sometimes cost more. I know I don't always include doing clear because I often take off right away for more videos, and I wanted to make sure you know that. Doing a clear layer is a matter of preference. There are many talented and skilled nail techs and enthusiasts, and even nail classes that don't necessarily or always do a clear layer, unless using a strong colored powder, as I mentioned. So I don't want you thinking someone is doing this wrong. New ways to nail techniques are constantly being experimented and discovered and is ever changing, and this is no different to the acrylic industry. This set will be a very subtle ombre of nude to pink. So I talked before about practicing on different lengths, especially if you're an aspiring student or want to be a nail tech. This was one of the reasons for my struggle, and I thought this video would be a perfect example because I have pretty much been doing long nails on this channel, but I also want to give what you've been asking for, shorties. You would think, well, they're shorter, so it should be easier, right? Not necessarily. If you become accustomed to a certain length like myself, I'm always doing long. You start to develop a habit in your bead size, which was one of the conflicts for me. I was picking up beads a little too large for the length, but don't get me wrong, they still came out cute. So this bead was too large. All I'm saying is you have to be able to accommodate any client request, whether it be long, medium, or short nails. Oh, by the way, much of this video is as recorded, timing-wise, and the only editing was to remove my hand at times when it was taking over the entire screen, and to cut out like the gaps when I was cleaning my brush, which you have to excuse my brush because you'll notice I'm pretty much in need of a new one at this point. And also to edit in different perspectives for your viewing experience. I wanted to spend a little time talking about this set because I felt it offered some transparency to the trade when starting out with things not going so well. And I don't mean horrible, but ending still with a lovely nail set. And more often than not, that's exactly what's going to happen. We all, myself included, would love to strive for perfection. But the reality in client services is perfection costs time and, in essence, loss of revenue. And let me offer absolute clarification here. Do not misinterpret this as me saying that subpar work is okay, because that's not what I'm saying. I've always explained that as much as we want to do well, have as much experience and skill with corrections that'll achieve the end result for you. So as I progressed through this set, I had to get used to bead size and wetness. So I intend to do more shorties for you so we can follow that journey together. I tried going in slightly drier, and as you can see, it was already setting and started becoming a little difficult to form. Both of these powders are pretty translucent. Which brings me to something else I mentioned before. When I did the encapsulated abalone stone, I mentioned to get accustomed to different acrylic powders, which is the other reason I continue to practice. During the time when I was doing client services, we mostly used straight acrylic powder because that's pretty much what was available at that time. And I'm still getting accustomed to translucent powders and others. The acrylic industry, just like other nail niches, has since boomed with all sorts of powder varieties and mixes, so it is wise to try out and practice with as many variations and brands when you can. So as much as it is cliche, it's nothing but all truth that practice and you doing it is the main discipline that will get you there. Oh, and by the way, what do you guys think of the different views? I've been working so hard on it, and it's still much of a learning curve, but if you like them, I'll definitely continue to work on it. It's not uncommon that by the time a few nails are done, a feel for a good consistency starts to develop. So by the time I'm doing the index finger, it looks a little more like I know what I'm doing. Before I get to the nail design, there's one last thing I want to bring back up because I think it's been a while since I've said this and I want to continue encouraging you. Don't get hung up on how many beads. Actually, I think I did more beads for this short set than I usually do for the long. And that was from me adding wherever it was becoming thin while I was getting used to the translucent powder. Try to make your learning process as enjoyable as possible and not stress over the 1, 2, or 3 bead method, unless you're in school, of course. Until you get an idea of how to pick up with consistency, don't take the fun away from this. Not only that, your beads are going to change in time with different brush sizes too. For me, my correction here would be, since my beads were large and my acrylic was laid thick, oh, and it being a translucent, you can get away without a clear top layer. The correction for me would be to do a little debulking and shaping. When doing short nails like this length, an apex is not needed, so I'll shape the sides and free edge, then work to bring down some of the bulk and make the nail bed look more natural. The filing portion is sped up so the video isn't too long for my editing software and also for me to get into the design. These nails will be matte, and I use NotPolish Matte It top coat to create contrast with the design I'll be doing. I've had chrome powder since last year and can't think of how much I've even used it. So I used this cream color by Azure and painted random straight patterns on 2 of the nails because this set is going to be very subtle and whispery. I cured the polish for 30 seconds in my 75-watt lamp and rubbed some pink chrome powder, burnishing it in. Then I sealed the pattern with no white glossy top coat to bring out the shine. And I finished both the nails with hints of spider gel for a light and dainty geometric design with an Asian vibe. These nails are versatile and can be worn with professional or casual attire. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. I have many more pre-recorded edits to do, so if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe so you'll be notified in the next upload. And I can't wait to see you next time. Much love.